Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Damzuk, and welcome to another RPG Exploration Society. Hey everybody out there, hi players that aren't here in a studio setting. Welcome. I hope you are all remaining safe and healthy and getting through what is sort of unprecedented in our lifetime. But we hope that you can find some enjoyment out of some of the shows that we're producing here and some of the content that we're kicking out there. Again, my name is Dom Zook. I'm the executive producer of Saving Throw, and I don't normally sit in the GM seat, so this is quite an exciting moment for me. Not only do I not normally sit in the GM seat, I don't normally GM a game I've never played before. And that's exactly what we're doing here tonight. We are playing Cold Shadows from Gallant Knight Games, and I am super excited. If you recall, a few months ago during a proficiency check, I mentioned that I love spy stuff, and I've always wanted to play a spy game. And so I was looking, and I found Cold Shadows. And it's a pretty neat system. It's really cool. I like a lot of aspects about it, and we're going to get to all those aspects today. This is absolutely none of us have played this system before, so it's all new for all of us. So cut us a little slack, and we will go through it with you so that you can learn along with us. And while we do that, let's go around and introduce everybody who is playing with me today. Let's start over in the far left corner with JB.
Hey guys, my name is JB. I'm a creative strategist at Hunters Entertainment. I'm learning this for the first time, and I can't wait to get started becoming my spy persona.
Aliza. And
Hi,
yeah, there
everybody.
you go.
Hey, I just jumped right in there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, you're perfect.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Pearl. I'm an actor, writer, improviser, space nerd, sci-fi nerd. But I'm excited to be a spy today. So,
Great. Ben.
Hey, I'm figuring out how to unmute myself. Ben, one of the co-founders here at Saving Throw, as well as a project manager and I guess marketing person over at Hunters Entertainment as well.
Great. And Elisa.
Hi there, I'm Elisa Teague. I am a board and card game designer and an RPG author, and I am also ready for spy mode.
Awesome.
We can also officially announce that Elisa is one of our writers at Hunters Entertainment for Werewolf 5th Edition.
Ooh.
We announced that today.
That's
Super
awesome.
exciting.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Just FYI, we are hearing Aliza and JB. Your volume might be a little bit low, so I don't know if your proximity to a microphone could be increased.
Closer.
Yeah. But other than that, great, excellent. You are turned up all the way over here. So let's continue on. So, Cold Shadows. What is Cold Shadows? Cold Shadows is essentially it's a recreation of the spy genre, and you can kind of play any sort of spy world that you like in this setting. It's very flexible in terms of what you can do, and it's a story-based system. So it's a narrative game, which means that unlike something like D&D, which is sort of a gamist game where you can kind of there's a lot of rolling and specific skills and stuff like that, with a narrative system, kind of like Fiasco or Roll for Shoes or Lasers and Feelings, there are much fewer aspects, and you are more role-playing and telling the story collaboratively, and that's a heavy aspect of the game. It's not just a component or something you could do by the side. That is how the game is played. So there's a lot of determining things sort of on the fly and what kind of you feel tells a better story. So sometimes a player may win a roll, and we'll get into that a little bit later, and choose not to succeed in what they're doing because it actually tells a better story to not succeed in that. So if you're into narrative type stuff, if you're into telling cool stories, this is something to look into and check out. We ahead of time did a little bit of pre-planning. So the way that it works is essentially you all sit around and you build the agency that your agents are a part of, and one of the players takes the role of the narrator. That's what I'm doing, and basically is sort of like a game master in that sense. Everyone else is an agent of some kind within the agency. One cool thing about this is that no one is like a pencil pusher, bottom of the line, just got hired right out of spy school. Everyone has a degree, and a high degree and role within the agency, so that all the actions that the agents take are very influential in terms of what happens. You're able to tell a better story because you're able to kind of get out there more. But it's flexible. If you want to start off with agents who are brand new, you can do that too. So we determined our agency ahead of time. And what we were able to come up with is that our agency is RES, is the agency acronym. What does it stand for? Did we determine what it stands for? It could be anything.
No one knows.
That's
No
that's
one in the entire world knows.
not even the agents of RES.
Not even us.
They really evil. What's a good E word? That's not evil.
Yeah. Really?
It stands for really excellent spies.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So creative.
This is like the totally spies aspect of things. We're just really good spies. If you need a good spy, call really excellent spies.
Yeah, guys, we could do it.
So the agency is RES. The director is Gerald Bowman. Gerald Bowman. And Gerald Bowman is cunning. And what does that mean exactly? Well, it means that they believe in the strength of an agency, or the strength of an agency lies in the talent of the agency's spies, and they carefully cultivate allies and friends, and they have a dossier on everyone. Now, the director can impart advantages and disadvantages to the agents under their division. And the advantage for a cunning director is that each season of a game, in this case, will be one episode, but the agency can spend a free espionage action. We probably won't get to that because it's more of a wide-ranging, meant to be over several sessions, but that's the advantage of a cunning director. A disadvantage, however, is that all of the agents are untrustworthy. They have the untrustworthy aspect. Then moving on, we have the virtues, and there are 6 different virtues that you can choose from: charisma, resolve, perception, violence, athleticism, and intellect. And each one has its own things sort of associated with it. You can consider these kind of your attributes on a regular character sheet, but the agency gets them in addition to the agents as well. The overall virtue of RES is charisma, which means that the agents prize over everything the ability to communicate and talk and get their point across and sway hearts and minds. So consider that this is what RES, that's what their mission is, basically. There are several assets as well. These are things that the agents can call upon and they have access to. And we determined that the assets that RES has are Con Ops, which is our operations. That's where the headquarters is, essentially. They have non-governmental contacts, which means people in multinational corporations, mafia syndicates, things of that nature. These spies have contacts in all of those areas. A quartermaster or a Q branch. This is very familiar to Bond fans. Someone who's making essentially not only equipping the agents with their regular gear, but also potentially bringing in some spy tech as well. combat instructors who essentially help train and improve the combat ability of all of the agents, and a communications intercept, basically access to current enemy intelligence, so they kind of know where their enemies are, what they're up to. Then we get to choose some aspects, and there are various aspects, and the aspects can be invoked or compelled. So when you make rolls, which are called risks in this game, you can invoke an aspect to gain bonus die for that roll. On the flip side of that coin, someone can compel an aspect in order to get die on their end of things. So there's a little push and pull with aspects. We chose, let's see, center of attention. I won't go into all of these because there's a lot of text here, but center of attention, friends in the dark, honeypot, and teamwork. So there's a lot of play here with how the director is cunning and potentially untrustworthy, and all of our players, all of our agents are also untrustworthy to varying degrees. You can sort of determine how untrustworthy you are. You may just be perceived as being untrustworthy by outside agents, but not only are they have untrustworthy as an aspect, they also have teamwork. So they have to work together in some degree, and have probably worked together a number of times before. So there's a lot of fun things that you can play with hindrances here, where that feed into the story and the role play aspect of everything. So there's just two more things that you can add to your agency, and we will do those now. And I'll answer the question. This is the Cold Shadows RPG. There was a question if we were playing Fate. It's not. It is not Fate. It is the Cold Shadows RPG, which uses a variation on the, I believe, Blood and Honor system from John Wick. So if you're familiar with that at all, it's heavily adapted from that, but there are certain differences. Okay, so step 5, the reputation of the agency. So we were talking about this a little bit before, and we want to figure out, just for story purposes, what do other agencies, what do other governments or anyone who might be involved, our non-governmental contacts for one, what is the reputation of RES in the world? Are we good at what we do? Are we bad at what we do? Is there one particular thing we're really good at, or one that we're really bad at, or one that we're getting better and people know that? So I turn it over to our players. What is a reputation for RES?
I was thinking, since we are untrustworthy, it's we'll do whatever it takes to get a job done kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Meaning, if we have to turn on the people that hired us, or if we have to lose an asset, then we'll do that in order to accomplish our mission.
But in like an understandable sort of way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, trust us. We'll get it done.
Right. Okay. So your reputation is that you're a little ruthless. Am I understanding that right? You will turn over your friends in order to get the job done.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Great. Now the last thing we need to figure out are secrets. And so each of you goes around and gives one secret about the agency. And this is something that could be known by other people. It may not be known. Essentially, it is a secret. So theoretically, it is only known within the agency. However, secrets do have a tendency to get out in the spy world. So go through, and we'll just go around, and I will ask each of you for a secret for the agency. The only thing is, you cannot contradict an already established truth. So Gerald Bowman is the director. There isn't a secret sub-director or anything like that. There could be a secret sub-director, but Gerald Bowman is the director. He is the face of the company. You can't change the virtues, you can't change the aspects, you can't change any of that stuff. And if someone establishes something with a secret now, you can't contradict that secret on your go. Okay, so let's start here. Elisa.
Oh,
I'm gonna really hit the S's and Z's just so that we
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to say, sorry, Gerald Bowman, but the last 12 directors of RES have died mysterious deaths that are covered up.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
You must be somewhere.
Ben.
Well, to build onto that, not only have they died mysterious deaths, but the previous director actually died while on vacation, and it just so happened that Gerald Bowman was vacationing at the same spot at the same time.
Were they vacationing together, or is this two separate? Okay.
Previous director died on vacation, and Gerald Bowman was also on vacation in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
That is mysterious and suspicious.
Yeah.
Mm.
Eliza.
Another secret is that this is kind of a compound secret. Let me know if this breaks anything. Another secret is that our agency, the way our agency recruits is to kind of collect people who have a secret, a really bad, terrible thing they've done, or a secret that they're trying to not share with the world, and also people with the skills that we have. But
So
agency specifically seeks out people with deep, dark, terrible things they want to hide.
So the agency blackmails their employees to get them hired.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
It's kind of like how Hunters works. Just kidding.
Wow. Are you hired?
Just kidding, JBHR. Just kidding, JBHR.
Well, I didn't hear anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
And JB.
My secret is that while we are a American-based organization, we're being funded by an international trust, and not even the agents know who pulls the strings. So we don't really know who we're working for.
Okay. This is all great. This is fitting in pretty well to what I was thinking of running. So, okay.
Lucky.
Yeah, no, really, really lucky. Okay, also, I will say that thank you, some Redshirt, who resubscribed for 30 months and sent
thank you.
a reroll to you all at the table. So you have one reroll at present that you can use. Okay, so that is our agency. That is RES, the agency that is run by a cunning Gerald Bowman. The virtue of the agency is charisma. You're great at talking. You're great at convincing people to do things. So while you may be blackmailing people to work for the agency, you're very good at it. Your assets are you have in your agency location. You have the HQ that you work out of. You have some non-governmental contacts. You have a Q branch, combat instructors, and a communications intercept office, essentially, that will get you information about your enemies. The aspects are honeypot, friends in the dark, teamwork, and center of attention. So be aware of those, which we will use as we go into our character creation now. So for you folks at home, we are going through this. None of us have played this before. If you're just tuning in, we've never played Cold Shadows before, so this is brand new to all of us. We've literally had like a week to read it through, if that, amidst our busy schedules. So yeah, this is gonna be kind of interesting, but this is kind of, if you're sitting down at a table learning a new game, this is kind of how it's gonna work. So let's start with our agent creation. So everyone, needs to give me the name of your agent and your code name. Be thinking of that as we move on. And basically, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe all of these things. You all work on them individually. I know some of you have started on what some of these things are going to be for you. And then I will come back around and we will introduce your agents. Does that sound good?
That's great.
Great. Cool. So a name and a code name. Choose your role within the agency. So again, these are not neophyte agents. These are people who have worked for the agency for a while. Some of them in relatively high positions. You can choose a commander. You can choose a deputy director. There are freelancers, handlers, hitters, the mastermind. These are all positions within the agency that could potentially be taken. And all of them have different abilities that they can use and benefits within sessions. Step 3 is you can choose your virtues. So there are 6 virtues. You can choose 5 of them. The remaining virtue is your weakness. One virtue is at rank 4. 2 virtues are at rank 3. Another 2 virtues are at rank 2. And then the last one is your weakness. Just put a W on your weakness. Just so you know, and for chat, that they know that your having a weakness means you don't get to roll dice for that virtue, but it doesn't mean that you can't roll dice at all for what you're trying to do. Just FYI. So don't worry too much about having a weakness. It just means you're not great at that thing.
And then we get an extra point in charisma because of the agency, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay. Now choose aspects. So there are 4 aspects. You could choose 3 of these 4 aspects that are aspects of your character. So again, the aspects of the agency are honeypot, friends in the dark, teamwork, and center of attention. So you can choose 3 of those for your character, for your character's aspects.
Doesn't one of them have to be untrustworthy?
Untrustworthy is essentially a bonus aspect, if I'm understanding that right.
Oh, so it's not filling.
It's not filling an aspect of the agency.
It's
no,
just a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Next, you can choose a background and a touchstone. So there are different backgrounds. You came into the agency from different features. So some of you came from a academic background, a military background, politics, or you were born into the espionage game. You can choose one. One advantage under that background that you then get to use, and that will feature into your risks when you make those rolls. And then a touchstone is your connection to the real world. When things get hairy and you get just caught up and you feel like everyone is against you, you have one aspect that you can go back and connect with, and that helps ground you and sort of brings you back. Yes. Next is trust and cover. You each get 2 points in trust, or 2 ranks in trust rather, which gives you 2 trust points. We have added those trust points. There's a virtual bowl right here that's full of trust points that you all have submitted. So we each one of you gets 2 trust points to start off with. And you can use these trust points to influence the story or give you bonus dice in your rolls. You also have 1 rank of cover, and I believe we will get to cover in a second. You get one advantage of your choice from the list of advantages. Consider these like a feat in D&D or Pathfinder, something like, or an edge in Savage Worlds. These are things that just make you a little bit different and give you a little bit of a boost from there. Okay, yeah. So for your cover, by the way, you will have a name and occupation for your cover. So it doesn't have to be your real name, and it doesn't have to be the job that you have within the agency. So you could be a dog walker named Jim, and that's your cover. And anytime you want to do a risk and being Jim the dog walker comes into effect, you get to add a number of dice equal to your cover rank, which at this point is 1. So you could add 1 more dice if that comes into play. Okay. And that's it for character creation. So who is ready? And we'll start there.
I'm basically ready.
All right, JB. Let me have it.
My character's name is Damien Sharp, and I am codename Greyhawk. I am a hitter, so I am the basically the killer, the go-to killer for the agency. And whenever somebody needs to get taken out, I'm the one who gets the first phone call. My cover is Alan Moss. I'm a real estate agent who works for the Milliken Group. It's a massive international organization. They have so many agents that no one can really tell who works for them and who doesn't. Do I need to go over my virtues?
We don't have to go over all the virtues. I think the name and code name is good for everyone to know, and then we'll cover virtues when we get into risks and we start rolling.
A little bit about me is my background is I'm ex-military. I don't know if you want me to go over the meaning behind the name or anything, but
the meaning behind your code name?
Yeah, behind my name.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
In the military, my brother at arms was Damien Sharp, and both of us disappeared in an accident. And he has no friends or family back home to report to, so I took on his persona instead of using my own. It's a weakness of mine, because if anyone finds out who Damien Sharp actually is, they could always trace it back to me.
It's a Mad Men spoiler alert. I won't say if you haven't watched Mad Men, which, man, it's been off the air for a few years now. Catch up.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if you can really spoil it.
Yeah. But I get what you're putting down. Okay. Cool. Who's next?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, my name is Vanessa Boyd. My code name is Dragonfly. And my cover is Shoshana Wolf. I'm an art dealer. I own Wolf Gallery, which is an art gallery. And my background is espionage. My parents were spies. I was raised in the spy game. And what else am I supposed to say?
What's your role in the agency?
Oh, I am a mastermind.
Nice. Okay.
And whatever it is that I got because of my espionage insight, makes me have a roll rank of 2, whatever that means.
Okay. We'll go over that. Yeah, you have to make a prediction though. So before we start the game, I will remind me to ask you to make a prediction about what you think might happen in the game. And if it comes true, if it works or occurs, then any agent who is participating in that risk gains a number of dice equal to your roll rank. So keep that in mind. But that is one thing we have to...
Mastermind for a one-shot game then, yes?
What's that?
Maybe I should take something else. You know what? I might switch.
Okay. I mean, that can work. That can work. That's not a
I
problem.
think I think I'm going to switch because I had a backup one just in case.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to switch to public relations
Ooh, okay.
because it kind of goes with what I'm kind of trained in anyway.
Great.
Oh.
So public relations. I'm switching.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
Well, so I had already, my character was already going to be public relations. Can we have two in the same?
I think so. I don't think there's anything that says you can't be.
Okay.
We have a bad reputation. We need as much PR.
Yeah, really. It's true.
Besides, you'll see, I'm pretty different. Okay, so I'll go. My name is Jerry Goldstein. My code name is Loose Lips. My cover name is Spencer Turling, and I am a social media influencer.
What was your code name? Loose Lips?
Loose Lips,
Okay.
the best G.I. Joe. And like I said, my role within the agency is public relations, but kind of because I am a known entity in the world, you know, I imagine that Elisa's is more working the back channels, whereas I would be working the face.
Okay.
My background is politics. I was on the social media team of the latest politician, who failed. Did not win the nomination for president, but
Okay. We won't get into current events here, but that's good.
No, not you know.
Right.
In the world of cold
shoulders.
Old chat.
It's a very different game.
Yeah.
But that so my advantage I'm taking is debonair.
Okay.
So, your character gains a free wager on all charisma risks.
Cool.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, I'm also because my charisma is like level 4 +1 for the
agency.
You get that +1 for the agency, and then the touchstone is my mentor, who taught me everything I know.
Great. Okay. Eliza.
Hey, it's me. Okay. My name is Esther Grayson. My code name is Ash Woods. There is a backstory to that code name. It's also my deep secret.
Okay.
My cover is Shauna Wills. And as my cover career, I'm a Reiki practitioner. What else? My background is in academia. So I was a grad student studying religion, and I dropped out of grad school to go live in the woods and to live off the grid. But then something happened and I ended up at the agency.
Ooh, okay. And what is your role in the agency?
Oh, my role is a freelancer.
Okay.
My aspects are live like a local. What is it? I just wrote down local. Like a local. So.
Okay.
Like a local, perceptive, and natural talent. Do you need to hear all of this?
I don't need to hear all of it. No, but
okay, then never mind.
Yeah. So you get to choose one of those. So like a local is the one you chose.
I thought it was 3. I thought it says each player simply writes down the 3 aspects they want on their sheet.
No, that's your from the agency's aspects. On your background, you only choose one advantage.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then I don't know what our agency aspects.
The agency aspects are honeypot, friends in dark.
We have 4. Okay.
Teamwork and center of attention. So you can choose 3 of those 4.
Got it. Then for Esther, I will choose like a local.
Okay. Great. Those are, I believe, all of the advantages are explained later on in the book. So I will just have you all go ahead and look up those to. Oh no, they're explained in the next section. Step 7 on your advantages that I decided to skip over when I was explaining everything. So there we go. Okay, Ben, what was your cover name again?
Spencer Turling.
Spencer Turling. Okay. Oh, what fun. Okay.
He's mainly a TikToker.
Oh boy. Okay. I will say that here at Saving Throw, we value everyone's safety, both around the table and you at home. We have all gone through and done a worksheet, essentially, our lines and veils, and determined that. So we have a basis on what we are comfortable with doing, but just FYI, some content warnings. This is a spy show, a spy game, and there may be violence against other humans, political intrigue, things of that nature. And just to give you a warning, at this point, who knows what may happen, but I just want you all to be aware of that. And our players have a X card, which they can use at any point if something does not go right. So just to let you all know that that's where we're coming from. And welcome Vampire 54 for resubscribing for 32 months. Holy cow.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, no rerolls for you and no rerolls for me. So they're giving rerolls to another show. But that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay, if we just all die, it's not your fault or anything.
Yeah, right. Sorry, Vampire 54.
It's gonna be our last breath dying on the floor.
If only I had that one reroll. All right. Let's dive into Cold Shoulders, shall we?
Ben's favorite RPG.
Welcome, Clever Foodie, who just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Yes, anyone can subscribe with Twitch Prime if you have Amazon Prime at your disposal. It's just money on the table if you don't subscribe to a Twitch channel. So why not? And if you subscribe to us, that all the better. So thank you, Clever Foodie. Welcome on in, and you can give a reroll to either the players or to me as the narrator. Okay. Let's dive in, and we will just start tackling this as we go. You are all at work. You are all at RES doing your respective tasks at the moment, and there is a bleep on your computer screen that indicates that the director, that Gerald Bowman, would like to see you all in his office as promptly as possible. And I will let you know also that you have the following locations available to you in this. You have your headquarters, which is where you're at right now, Con Ops. You have a black market, a safe house, and a watering hole. And those will come into play as they do. Okay, so he has called you all into his office. Are you going to head out there, or do you want to finish something else? while just make him stew a little bit.
We're all at HQ right now?
You're all at HQ right now.
I head to his office and I'm holding my mushroom tea. Freshly made mushroom tea.
I'm in the process of cleaning one of my weapons. So I have a pistol laid out in front of me and a bunch of different parts, and I'm just going to finish reassembling. I'm kind of ignoring the warning until I'm ready on my own schedule.
I will lock my computer, remove any storage devices on my person, and head to the director's office.
Great.
I'm finishing up a flame war that I've instigated on a Chinese server. So, just give me like 15.
Okay. So Esther, Damien, and Vanessa, you are outside of Gerald's office, and Gerald's assistant is a young man, relatively new as far as you know to the agency. His name is Matthew, and you don't know a ton about Matthew other than there might have been some connections that got him into RES, whether they were family or some distant relative or friends of the family. You're not 100% sure, but Matthew seems affable well enough, and he welcomes you in and says, Esther, I see you already have tea. Can I get you anything? Vanessa, right? And Damien.
Whiskey.
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 Okay.
Hurry up.
Right. I will. Okay. Vanessa, can I get you anything?
I'll have a coconut water.
Okay. And he kind of turns and goes back into another room, and it's fairly well stocked, actually. The Gerald knows his agents, and he has these things on hand. So in walks Matthew with a coconut water, with a whiskey, and it's very good whiskey nonetheless. And if you need any more mushroom tea, I can whip some up real quick in the back. Just let me know. Anyway, just grab a seat here. He wants everyone to come in at once. It's just he doesn't like repeating himself, so.
Take a plop down on the biggest couch I can find. Arms outstretched.
Yeah, there's a big leather couch underneath a window next to his desk, and there are several leather chairs that match the decor quite nicely, that surround and dot the room. And there is a large wooden door. It's a double door, actually, that looks relatively thick, and that's Gerald's office is through those doors. Other than that, there's just the door that you came in through and the door that leads into the food and drink area, the kitchen, essentially, that is right off Gerald's office. Jerry?
Yeah.
You get another ping on your computer, and it just says, stop whatever you're doing and come now.
I mean, I'm already on my way,
Mm-hmm.
so, it seems a little overkill. I have my vape pen, just walking in. I'm going to take a big old hit before I walk in, open the door and just puff my way through like magic.
Wow.
Hey, party people. What's the big guy want now?
I'm gonna put my pistol on the table and just say, he wanted us here on time.
I'm here on time.
Hey,
It's not proper to smoke those things indoors.
I have to agree with Vanessa. The vape pens actually need to be smoked outside. I'm really sorry, Jerry.
Shut up, Matthew.
Okay, it's fine.
All right.
And now that you're here, he's like, I'll let the director know that you're here, and he hits a button there's a little control pad on his desk that's actually next to the phone. It looks like it's actually connected to the phone, and he hits a couple of buttons on there, and then the doors unlock and open a little bit, and he directs you. He motions over, says the director will see you now.
I'm just gonna stand up from where I'm going and charge right into his office.
Oh, don't forget your gun.
Nonsense.
You put it on the
table.
table.
I don't go anywhere without my gun.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
I unfold myself from one of the leather chairs and walk through the doors.
Great.
I
I'm
stand
just
up,
gonna.
adjust my coat, and give give you, Damien, a hard glance as to the disrespect that you would just charge right through without making sure that everybody gets up first, including all the women in the room.
Yeah, I ignore everything that her face conveys and just start belting out at Gerald. All right, don't waste our time. What is it this time? What, like one target, two? What do you got?
And yeah, Gerald's back is to you. His arms are crossed behind his back, his hands clasped behind his back, rather. And he makes a motion behind him, and the doors close behind all of you. And you hear the familiar, yet no less unsettling collection of locks that fall into place as these doors close. And he taps a button on the control panel on his desk, and the shades go dark, essentially. So the room is plunged into darkness. And he hits another button, and a screen comes down from the wall, and video begins playing. And in this video, you see grainy footage of another man. And he does look familiar to you all. And he is getting out of a car. It looks like he's heading into an airport. And the screen freezes on this man's face. Agents, thank you for showing up on time. And he gives a pointed look at Jerry. This is Marvin Balam. And that name is familiar to you all. Marvin Balam was the company mastermind. They were the ones who essentially helped direct policy for RES. And little was known about them other than they had issues with the way that RES did their job. And everyone knew that, but it seemed to be well taken care of. Gerald continues. Marvin Balam is, in essence, a defector. We are tracking his position and his whereabouts right now, and we need you to collect him and bring him back to HQ. That's it. Does that seem doable to you all?
Assuming that Marvin knows who all of us are.
Marvin may or may not know who you are. Marvin was pretty high up in the organization, and so they weren't particularly familiar with anyone that they didn't directly deal with. So they might have had some dealings with Vanessa and maybe Jerry, but a hitter they probably would never have dealt with. The freelancer they probably never would have dealt with. So, yeah. His current.
Is there yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask if there's a last known location of Marvin.
His last known location is Washington, D.C. He was about to head on a plane heading for Vienna. And from there, we are unsure where his final destination was going to be. But we believe that he is going to be meeting with a denizen agent by the name of Scipio. Scipio is someone who Damien and Esther, you probably know the name Scipio. In fact, all of you probably know the name of Scipio. Scipio is an agent of renown and is not someone to be taken lightly. If Denizen has sent out Scipio to collect this asset, then you know things are dire. And Denizen is going to waste no time to collect the asset. Gerald continues. while we are tracking him, please be advised that he has quite a number of RES assets under his, I hesitate to say command, but he certainly knows a lot about our operations. He probably knows exactly what we're going to do and when we will do it. So I need you to be...
Kill them all. You need us to kill them all the assets.
I was going to say I need you to be unorthodox in your dealings with him.
You're no fun.
But you do have free reign to eliminate the assets as they come into view if necessary. But I need Marvin here alive. He is too valuable for us to eliminate entirely. But if he gets into the hands of Denizen, he is a target and you have a license to kill.
All right, now you're talking my language.
If there's nothing else, and he sits down and pulls up a pen and starts working on some paperwork. I believe you have a asset to find.
All right. What other information do we have on this guy?
Oh.
Just that we're going to Vienna? Who's booking the trip?
The trip will be booked. Matthew will take care of all of your travel arrangements and anything you need there. If you need to visit Q Branch, they are available to you as well. We have a HQ in Vienna that you will operate out of. Any other needs that you require, you can reach out to Matthew, who will be your handler on this.
All right.
And I know that going after one of our own is not unheard of in our line of work, but we are trying to do more here at RES, and I would greatly appreciate it if you are able to get Marvin back here alive.
Are you able to tell us if you know any of like his motivations on why he would have turned? Sir?
Marvin was known... Marvin did not like how things were done here at RES. That is no secret. However, it seems of late he was dealing with other individuals using RES supplied assets. And that, of course, cannot be. We cannot allow that. Marvin was, let's say, seeding his division from RES out into the world. And we need that. We can't have him spilling our tea, as it were. So if you can, bring him back. Anything else?
No, sir.
Excellent. Your plane is awaiting, and I will see you back here. You have 48 hours. And with that, the doors unlock and swing open. And he just goes down. The lights come back up. The shades come back up. And sunlight fills the room again. You know distinctly that there is no sun out today where you are.
Cancels my sunglasses.
Yeah. But there is sun pouring into his office. And he nods and gets to work. Matthew comes and approaches you all and says, I have your tickets and your arrangements. You will be staying at the Grand Metropolitan in Vienna City. And I have all the backstories that you need for your covers, that reasons why you would be in Vienna at this time. Esther, there is a Reiki convention going on now in the downtown center, and you are a speaker there. Damien, there is some prime real estate. I believe that you will be interested in showing to people. I have it on good authority that Marvin is taking some payment for his defection into Denizen, and is probably going to be looking for some place to stay. So that might be something to look into. Vanessa, there is a museum that is accepting some new art, and I think that I can get you embedded into that in case Marvin comes. He is a known art collector, and that might be an avenue for us as well. Jerry, I don't have anything for you at present. However, your cover, as it were, could basically be anywhere. Okay. And he hands you all your tickets, and says your plane takes off in an hour. And can I get you anything else? Do you need anything? I can have Q Branch supply you with anything so that when you land, you have it if you need anything.
I'm gonna walk out and make a quick trip to the quartermaster.
Okay.
What
And
type
I
of-
asked.
Sorry. Go ahead. Who's
what what tech is available to us from the quartermaster?
Let me see. Okay, so you all have silent pistols, just so that you know that. The quartermaster can essentially provide you with whatever you want. You tell me what you want, what kind of device you feel like you may need, and then we can, the quartermaster will begin working on that for you.
Okay. Can I give you a list now?
You can all get one thing from the quartermaster.
I'd like to get some type of poison, maybe like a piece of jewelry or a bracelet that has poison that I could easily dose someone with.
Okay. How about you'll get a ring that has a little pinprick a little pin that kind of shoots out of it that you can slap onto someone, and it will inject them with the poison.
Great.
Okay. Who else?
Is there some sort of device that I can place on any type of lock, digital or otherwise, that would just figure out the code? You know, you put it on there and it just goes boop, 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 boop.
Like a door knocker, essentially. We'll just call that the door knocker. That will uncover basically the codes. It will decode any coded thing. Yes.
I need to get the that latest app that we've been working on that allows my phone to access every phone in proximity, so that I can take a look at all of their information on every device, target people,
Okay. So the hacker app.
the hacker app.
Great. Okay.
We need to work on branding, but it's fine.
Going to the App Store and downloading Hacker app.
Yeah. Everyone do that right now.
I'm gonna take a pair of glasses that will project heat signatures, so I can
Okay.
see people moving around on other sides of walls.
And the quartermaster says, and I suppose you don't want anyone to know that you're looking at their heat signatures?
yeah, the conspicuousness of it is going to cause some issues. So as long as we can keep that on, just between you and me.
Yeah, sure. No, you're not just asking for the world here. I mean, that's we're talking about major technology that I'm going to squeeze into a pair of sunglasses. This is fine. This is easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as it were.
Can we assume that we have some general spy things like earpieces, communication devices,
Yeah.
and bugs?
Yes. Yeah. You have that. You have bugs. You have your earpieces connected to, I would assume, shortwave radios, so that you can talk to each other and to HQ if needed,
Okay.
while in the field. Yeah. Okay.
I also would like to go back to Matthew and ask, is there a dossier on Marvin that we could actually have?
Yeah, there is a dossier, and he reaches into his. Well, actually, what he does is on his control panel, he hits a few buttons, and you all get notifications on your cell phones, and the dossier is now downloaded onto your devices.
And that has like known contacts in
It,
Vienna.
it has known aliases. It has what his cover was. His cover was as a professional expert. He did a lot of TED Talks. But about what in particular, that usually were just theories, or he spoke of theory, essentially ranging from political theory to astrophysics to other things. He was an expert in a lot of fields, which made him a very valuable mastermind for the agency. Yeah, he would go around the world basically giving talks to universities and other things as this expert. In fact, that's how he was brought into the agency, was through his work in academia and else and otherwise. And yeah, he has no.
We also,
Oh, I was going to say he has no known associates. They don't really know who he dealt with primarily. I mean, he worked pretty hand in hand with director Bowman, but he, in terms of assets that he directly controlled at RES, the mastermind didn't necessarily have any assets directly under them. They were more of a overall planning strategic position, and so there are certainly secretaries and admin people and stuff like that underneath him, but no one who was like a close right hand man that they are aware of.
while we're at it with the research, could we get a dossier on Scipio?
Yes, you can. And actually, I would like to do a risk for this because the Scipio dossier that well, here's the thing. I can give you a dossier that RES has on Scipio. It's not any more information than you already know. If you want to get more information on Scipio, it will be a risk.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Great. Let's do our first risk roll. And this is exciting because we haven't done one yet, and I have no idea how it works. Okay, we're gonna do it. This is gonna be great.
There we go. I have my D6s ready.
Yeah.
This is where we break the game.
This is where we break it. Oh
first
my
roll.
god. Okay. So So the first thing I will reiterate, the thing about risks is that it's not about who wins or loses, it's about who gets to tell the story. And when you get a 10 or higher, you get to tell the story, essentially. You get to describe what happens here. So here is how you build your dice pool. If a virtue is... if a virtue is appropriate to the risk, you get a number of dice equal to the virtue's rank. You may invoke one virtue per risk, and you cannot gain dice from more than one virtue for a risk.
Okay.
Okay, so you have your 6 virtues. Basically, you cannot get a die for your weakness, however.
Right.
So, what virtue are you using to get this? We can chat about that.
I would say perception.
Perception, okay.
Do you want me to
I may be
explain why?
biased here, but I feel like it's intellect, right? No, perception is just like what you're seeing. Am I being too D&D with this?
Yeah, I
Well, if
mean,
I know this guy, if I met Skip, because you said I would know Scipio from the past.
yes.
So it's like, what have I perceived about Scipio in the past? I was thinking more like, what have I picked up from this
Oh.
person before?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I think intellect would work if you were like trying to look up like a dossier from someone. But if you're trying to go back and try and go, let's say I've run into him before. What was he like? Then yes, I would say that's perception. That makes sense. Okay.
If RES doesn't have any information on this guy, I'm assuming you're not going to be able to look up anything. So perception's probably
Right.
only.
Right.
Yeah.
You got everything that RES has already, so there's nothing to look up there. So yeah, you're going to have to rely on your gut here. So okay, so perception. I don't think so, but does your code name have anything to do with this at all, or your name?
With this virtue, you mean?
With what you're trying to do. So you're trying to get information on
Oh.
Scipio. So does he know your name? Maybe does he have a tie to your code name somehow?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. If you have an aspect that is appropriate for the risk, you gain 3 dice. So what aspect would you like to call on here?
All right.
I would say probably
So
go ahead.
I can pull from the agency aspects.
You can pull from your aspects. So you're the 3 aspects that you have.
Oh, so I do have 3 aspects. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah,
Your
so
Actually,
aspects are 3
had
of
it
the
right
agency's
before.
aspects.
yeah. So your character gets
Oh.
3 of the 4 agency aspects.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'll do Friends in the Dark.
Okay. That seems appropriate to this. And then let's see. I think that you might be able to use the advantage. So you get 1 advantage off of your roll, or your roll, I believe. And you said you were like a local was your advantage, which that won't help you here.
Right.
And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else that you have. So how many dice is that?
So starting with 4 for perception, and then how many do I get more dice for the aspect?
Yep, you get you can invoke an aspect for this,
Okay.
and you get 3 dice for that.
All right. Okay, and that was it because like local doesn't count.
Yeah. So
I
you
don't
have
want to pull the rules lawyer card, but Friends in the Dark only gives you dice when you're using humor to figure out what you're doing.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I remember seeing that.
Thank
You
you.
take teamwork because I think
Sorry,
we all.
before we started, I actually wrote down all the invokes and compels to
Oh.
actually make sure I knew what I was talking about.
Good. Yeah. That's helpful. Yeah, teamwork could work because you all are trying to get this information. So maybe you're all sort of pooling your knowledge together to
Yes.
try and figure this out. So you can invoke
Piecing
teamwork.
together what we know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, we're all piecing things together
Yeah.
about Scipio.
Okay, so that's 7 dice. Okay. Now your target is 10. So you will probably easily get 10 out of these 7 dice. So now you can wager a number of these dice. And if you wager some of these dice, you can get even more information. It's essentially like, think of it like critting the roll. So if you do roll a 10 with whatever dice are remaining, then not only do you succeed in being able to say what Scipio what you know about Scipio. But if you get your wagers as well, depending on how many wagers you get to tell a rank more or an extra bit more on top of that. So you have a wide narrative control if your wager pans out. So
Okay.
you can decide how many dice you actually want to spend on this. You could just roll all 7 dice. You don't have to wager either. So
does wagering cost anything, or is there any risk to it?
You take dice out of your 7. Each
Oh,
wager
I
you
see.
do, you lose 1 die.
All right, I'm just gonna roll just
7
with what I have.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
wager. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Okay, that one's cocked. Okay. Yeah, way over 10.
Yeah. I would imagine.
No
I would
money.
hope so. If 7 dice can't roll 10, ugh. Okay.
Yeah, lots of 5s and 4s.
That's fine. So it doesn't matter how much above 10 you get. As long as you reach 10 or more, then you get to describe. It's the wagers that really give you the bonuses to things. So you succeeded. So tell us, what do you know about Scipio? And I'll tell you if that's maybe too much. No, it's not.
Well, okay.
I actually won't tell you if it's too much. You just go and tell me about Scipio, but there might be some things that you forgot.
Okay, well, one thing I remember about Scipio is that Scipio is very fancy, or tries to be fancy, and always wants to eat at the most expensive restaurant possible wherever Scipio is. So I think that's probably where we'll go first to try to find Scipio.
Can we also get a spell check on Scipio?
Scipio.
Whoa.
Oh, I was very close.
What?
Thank you.
SC what?
IPIO.
Oh, okay. I wasn't that far off.
I went with
I
K,
spelled it like
you know,
Skippy
it
peanut
works.
butter.
Yeah.
Scipio.
Okay.
So Dom, is that okay to say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. You
Okay.
have narrative
You won the
control.
roll.
So yeah, the whole thing is about you have complete free reign of telling this. I, as the narrator, can
Right.
say, actually, it's not fancy restaurants that he likes, it's something else entirely. But you don't know that. So as far as you know, Scipio loves fancy restaurants, and they like to eat at fancy restaurants when they go there. And as this was a teamwork role, you all kind of remember this. Yes, when you've run up against Scipio in the past, they have been known to partake. They are not an Olive Garden type of spy. They definitely go for the high end things.
Hold on a second. Are you saying that Olive Garden isn't fancy?
No, Olive Garden is where your family.
Yeah, I got a fancy family. All right.
Only the Times Square one.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
If Scipio is a code name or their real name, or
Scipio is the only name you have heard. So whether it's a code name or a last name or a first name or something, you're not sure. But Scipio is the name that you know.
okay, and we've actually seen this person in real life.
You have, yes, yeah, in various. If you had wagered, I would have told you some additional information about Scipio, and you could have relayed a little bit more information on that. I'm not saying you did wrong, because there's no wrong here. I'm just saying that that's what wagers can allow you to do. They can give you a little bit more details on things of that nature, and they allow you to dictate that. So you have all seen, I will tell you that you have all seen Scipio before in missions in the past, and that's all I can tell you. So you go and get on the plane, and now you are heading out to Vienna. The Q branch, the quartermaster, has let you know that they are working on all of the devices and items that you have asked for, and you should have those waiting for you when you reach Vienna in about 14 hours.
We're on a private jet. What's happening here?
Yeah, so you're actually not on a private jet. This was chartered, or not chartered. This is American Airlines essentially, and um, you're not sitting together or anything like that. You all have your own seats, and your covers are in full uh, um, display here. This is all of your tickets and rooms were booked under your cover personalities. So just FYI, that's who people are going to be expecting you to be here.
100% in business class.
I must be in first class, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
totally economy.
I'm doing a YouTube review of my seat as Spencer Turling.
Uh huh.
Definitely getting on the nerves of my neighbor pod mates, but it's to be expected.
Right. Right. I mean,
I have to help, I have to help my 500,000 subs,
well, it's surprisingly the person next to you recognizes they're kind of looking over your shoulder and they see your username, and they kind of tap you on the shoulder and go, "Excuse me, are you Spencer Turling?"
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I follow like all of your accounts. I follow your TikTok. It's hilarious. You never
Thank
show
you.
yourself, but the things that you have on there are it's amazing, and so like
Yeah.
it's like like what is going on. It's really it's
Thanks.
crazy. Yeah. Oh wow. Can I take a picture with you?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's really good to
Maintains
meet you,
giant
though.
grin the entire time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
So like if this needs to be a role, it can be a role, but like he doesn't feel let down by it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I let him down easy with a smile.
Great. I will add in here what they said about risks in the rule book is that risks are things that will change the course of the story, that will illuminate things and scenes that are big. So your day-to-day normal things you're not going to have to roll for, like, and you're spies, you are super spies essentially, so
Yeah.
you're not going to roll to like walk down a set of stairs or anything like that. Like, you all can handle that
Thank
with
God.
aplomb. But yeah, dealing with a super fan here, yeah, that's all within your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else want to do anything on the plane while we're while we're going?
I'm gonna head to the bathroom. I'm in the very back, like the coach of coach, and I'm gonna get changed. Nice, crisp business suit, glasses, well coiffed hair, and little laptop that I'm just gonna click away on the entire time, completely out of character.
Okay.
Rough and tumble murderer.
Cool. You see back here, and Esther, you are also you're in economy, right? You said.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So both of you see there seems to be an individual who kind of keeps peeking out of their chair during the flight, and they're just like, and then they sit down and they look deep in thought, and then they check their phone and enter in some information and then put their phone away, and then they look around again, and then they sit back down and look back at their phone and sit back down. They definitely look there's suspicion there.
When we boarded the plane, how much of an inn did we have? Were we able to bring like weapons or anything with us, or do we have to act like civilians?
You have to act like civilians. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You have no jurisdiction technically, so you can't. The RES can't necessarily get you clearance without blowing your cover.
So we had to check our guns.
Your guns are going to be sent to you, basically. They'll be provided at the HQ in Vienna. So you'll have your guns there. If you want to try to sneak a gun in, we can do that.
I would prefer to try to sneak one in.
Okay, let's roll a risk. All right. So what virtue do you want to try to, or just
I'm gonna
build
go
your
with
pool
resolve.
here? Resolve.
They
Okay.
said that I can't have a gun, and I'm resolving that I can.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm glad that's not a thing that can really happen.
Right? Yeah. You know what?
Can't have a
I'm just
gun.
going to do
Yes,
it.
I can.
Yeah.
Okay. Resolve. All right. How many die do you get in that?
I get 3.
Okay.
And I don't think I can use an aspect for... No, I don't have an aspect that will really work for that.
Like
So
honeypot?
yeah, I'm just going to roll my 3.
Do you have honeypot?
Yeah, but honeypot is for seduction risks. So unless I'm going to seduce... Actually, I could seduce one of the TSA agents to let me try to get one in.
I'll allow it.
All right. So that gives me 3 extra dice.
And anything
You hit 10, right?
your goal is a 10. Yes.
I'm gonna use 1 as a wager.
Okay.
Well. Oh yeah, I crushed it.
Nice. Okay. So, with your wager, you get a bonus effect. Let's see. Bonus effect usually leads to more trust points, but it can also be used to take narrative control of a scene and provide additional details. So, if you want, you can add a trust point to the pool, or if I'm understanding that right, or you can add more details to your success.
As a hitter, my only currency is trust. Apparently, the description says if I lose all the trust, or if we lose all the trust, I'm just a murderer.
Right.
I'm not even
Yeah.
anymore.
Yes.
So I'm going to use the wager to add a trust die, trust point.
Okay, great. And don't forget, for all of your risks, you can always pull a trust point out for your rolls if you feel like you don't have enough stuff. Okay. So tell me what happens. How did you seduce this the airline attendant and get your gun in?
So I was going through the line, obviously set off the metal detector, and as I was getting my pat down, I just started staring at her in the eyes and was like, "Wow, you have a really soft touch there. I'm surprised you're doing this kind of work. You know, you could be doing all kinds of things. Have you thought about getting into real estate? Real estate would be a phenomenal place for you because that sensual allure that you have with that touch, it's a really good way to sell some property."
Mr. Moss,
you and I could do a little bit of business, and you you wanted to kind of meet up after this, I'd be happy to get your number.
I will tell you, I'll be 100% honest. I get this a lot. Like a lot of people come and talk to me and they want like my number and everything, and so I'm pretty used to it, but you're different. You like have like, I don't know, like a dangerous quality or something about it, and it's just like exciting.
I don't want you to think that I'm just here to pick you up. I mean, you really seem like you and I could work together. I mean, in whatever capacity you would like to. I think that we would do really, really good business together.
Okay. And yeah, while you're talking to her, you are able to palm your silencer and your gun, and move it to a area that is not going to be checked, and you've got that. Is there an additional? Oh no, you moved it to a trust point. So that's it. Okay, so great, you've done it. Okay. So you see this person. It looks like a younger woman, red hair, probably in her late 20s or 30s, and just looking very very concerned, I suppose. I'm sorry. This is on the plane.
Back on the plane.
The suspicious person. Yes.
So it's just Esther and I who can see it.
Yeah. She is behind.
Is it just us who's on this flight?
What?
Or all four of us are on this flight?
All four of you are on the same flight. But you two are back in economy, and this person is in economy basically before it turns into business class. So.
Okay.
Can we glean anything about what she's actually doing with her phone?
All you can see is she pulls it up and we'll tap it. It looks like maybe she's texting or something like that. But beyond that, I mean, she could be playing Snake for all you know. It's hard to tell.
I would like to walk past her and drop something on her.
On her?
And try to get a look at the phone while I'm at it. Yeah. Try
Okay.
to get a look at what she's doing.
Okay. I would say this is probably a risk. So yeah, let's do this. So what are you trying to do here? Is the goal to look at what's on the phone, or is the goal to distract her?
Yeah, I was thinking both, but if I had to choose one,
I think both can happen, but I'm just trying to
go
determine the
with my
focus of the role. Yeah.
right. To distract or so I would say to look at the phone, and then it is perception again.
Okay, sure. Okay, so perception, and I assume nothing about your cover or anything is going to be used.
Yeah.
And what
Teamwork,
you could potentially use center of attention if that's one of your aspects. I don't know if you chose that one or not. Okay,
yeah, I didn't
then you
choose
can't
that
do
one.
that. So, your perception was a 4, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you have 4 die in this, and you're again trying to hit 10 as your goal. So you could stick with where you are, or you can take a trust point and you get another 4 dice.
If I make eye contact with Damien where he's sitting as a silent signal, can it be teamwork? Like, we both notice this chick. I'm gonna try to get a look. You look out too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I will give you a free wager for that.
Okay.
So it won't cost you any of your dice, but if you do succeed, then you can do something a little bit extra here.
Okay, cool. And then we have 2 trust points, or we're down 1? Oh wait, sorry.
We have 9 trust points. No one has used any.
Okay, we have 9.
Yeah.
No one's used any.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and use one.
I believe a trust point gives you 4 additional dice.
Awesome. And I'd like to do 2 more dice to wager.
Okay, so you're going to spend 2 of those dice. So you're going to be rolling.
So 1,
you
2,
had
3,
8,
4, 5, 6.
I believe. So you're going to be rolling 6, and then you have
Yep.
3 wagers essentially. So you can. This is a big deal if you get this, and I can't imagine you won't. But let's see. Maybe they're all ones.
Oh yeah, we're very good.
Okay. So tell me what happens, and if you want, you can replace, or you can. So you took a trust point out. Do you want to replace a trust point? Okay.
Yeah. Put that back in.
I think it works that way. I'm not 100% sure. I think it works that way though. Okay. And I should say you can do cooperative risks. You can work together. So they're
both roll for that, right?
Yeah, you both would roll for that. So we won't say that happened, but you did get the extra wager and everything for it. But in the future, we might do collaborative or cooperative risks. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so you have basically 2 extra ranks essentially in this description. So you can tell me. So basically, this is what happened. You dropped something, and you also got a good look at the screen. So tell me what exactly happened here, and then what did you see on the screen?
Oh, I decide what was on the screen?
Well, yeah, that's I'm not. I will tell you what's on the screen, but
Okay.
but you tell me what happened, and
Oh,
we'll go from there.
oh yeah. So I travel wearing very light, comfortable flowing clothes. Let's be honest. Esther always wears very light, comfortable flowing clothes. And as I walk past this woman's seat, um I walk close enough to the armrest that I can pretend that it's snagged, and I kind of do that. And then I just kind of do a little like uh clown routine, a mini clown routine
Mm-hmm.
for this woman's benefit. So I pretend to be stuck, and then I dropped my phone, and bend over to pick it up, and she's bending over to help me. And while she does, her phone, it's literally just like facing me, and I can see the entire screen.
Okay. Um, actually, as far as I understand it, you can tell me what's on that screen. You control the narrative here. Um, so,
Uh,
what do you think she was typing there,
um,
or futzing with, or whatever? What was she doing on that screen? See, this is
uh,
this is I think this is a cool, but it's a really difficult aspect of the game. Is that
this is hard.
the narrative? Yeah, the narrative passes. It's not just a GM. The GM kind of has a structure of the story they want to tell, but everyone can essentially adjust that as they see fit to tell the best story possible. So you do not
Okay.
have to say like,
Okay.
oh, she's talking to Scipio and Scipio's right next to her in the seat or anything like that. But you didn't get that many wagers. But you can also take it as a deficit, like, oh, I saw it, but she hit it too fast and I wasn't able to make out what it said. So you don't have to always give yourself a benefit necessarily, and you can also
Or, ooh,
yeah, go for it.
question.
Yeah.
What if the benefit is that she confides in me? Like
Okay.
she tells me,
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So she tells
or
you
she
what was on the
reveals,
phone?
yeah, she
Great.
reveals something really major that just because she's like, oh, this poor woman is tripping all over herself.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great. And I'll say, Dice Barista, welcome back, Twitch Prime. Thank you very much for
Dice
resubscribing.
Barista. That is a great name.
Dice Barista. Um,
Oh my goodness. I want to go to that shop
yeah, right?
where there's a Dice
Maybe
Barista.
that's the watering hole that you have in Vienna, is where Dice Barista works. Anyway,
Yes.
so yeah, so you trip and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't looking. I think my leg was out, and I'm oh,
Oh my goodness.
uh,
I'm just really unfocused today. Sorry. Are
and
you okay? You seem really stressed.
I don't like
Your energy
I
is
don't like.
really, really loud right now.
Oh yeah, I mean you're very perceptive. I don't like flying
Oh,
a lot, and there's someone that I'm meeting when we get to Vienna, and I'm just excited. I haven't met this person in real life, kind of, one of those things, and so I'm just
oh wow.
I'm just really excited about it.
Oh wow. Is this a potential date or?
I don't know. I mean, it could be. I mean, have you ever gotten that feeling about someone that they're just amazing, and you just can't stop thinking about them, and you want to talk to them forever, and every time you bring something up, they're able to just add to that and give you more, and
Yeah,
it's just
more. Yeah.
continually coming, and I just look at my phone, and every time they write me back, there's like something special, like look at this, and she shows you the phone, and the she shows you messages, and the from name is just MB, and the letter M and the letter B, and it there's some general talk about romantic stuff, and what they're going to do when they see each other the first time, places that they want to go to in Vienna. And you see talk about MB suggests that they go to this art opening that he has some tickets to. And she is, of course, very excited about it. But essentially there's the Modern Art Museum of Vienna. Let's say I haven't ever been to Vienna, so I don't know. Maybe it's got one. Anyway, that's where this is. He's going to have a meeting with this person. MB could be Marvin Balam, but it's hard to say. Yeah.
Wow, I can just sense from these text messages that there's a strong connection. I do readings, so if you ever want a reading, and I slip her my cover card.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What were you gonna say though? I want to hear what you were gonna say.
Oh, it's just silly stuff. Like Marvin is just always asking me like, is someone like watching you? Is someone following you? And it's just like weird stuff, like who would do that? But
very protective.
He's very protective, and it's like I wonder if he's like on this plane or something with me, like the things that he like tells me about, like he's like there's probably a guy in the back who's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, so be careful, and I'm just like, so like I look back there and there's like a ton of people that could be doing that, like that guy, and it points directly at Damien. Like I don't know, who's that guy? Like he came in and then he changed into a suit. Like that's weird, but I don't know.
That is so strange. Wow, I mean honestly, isn't it everyone's like dream in life is to find someone who cares that much about them?
You're right.
This person sounds amazing.
What was
I want to know all about you and all about him, and just we should hang out in Vienna.
Yeah, we should. What was your name again?
Oh, my name is E.
E. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on the card right there.
It says Shauna Wills.
Shauna E. Yeah, Shauna E. E is, you know what? E is the tone, the like the note, the musical note, the tone of my aura. So I just go by E. It's much easier.
That makes so much sense. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you, E. I really, this is great. I'm so glad you bumped into me, actually, for real life. Yeah. Yeah, I'll call you. I'm going to tell Marvin that I ran into someone really cool.
That's really fantastic. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. And
since she referred to me to try to distract her to get the bonus,
yeah.
Can I hear this on our shortwave?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm sure our two friends up in first class have no idea what this conversation's about, but
no, yeah. In fact, Vanessa and Jerry, you hear Esther talking to someone, and you hear the name Marvin come up, and there is definitely some commotion that's going on back here. And then yes, you heard that entire conversation, but you're not 100% sure because the curtains are drawn and you can't quite see back there.
But they didn't say. Sorry, my phone started ringing. Did they say her name? Like, I
was gonna ask that too. Did I get her name?
She.
Did I see her name on the phone, like in the messages?
It just says you.
Like the letter U?
No, just like
messages from MB and messages from you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get the name. I'm a bad spy.
Or you didn't delve too deep to give away your cover, and you're a good spy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, she did ask your name.
Mm-hmm. And she has my contact info.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
But from the information that was said, like they're meeting up at a thing, so we know that there's a event that he's going to be at.
Yes. Yes. So Marvin and this unnamed woman are going to be attending a art opening that you believe they'll be attending this art opening anyway. And RES also understood that Marvin would potentially be doing this. So Vanessa, you know about this art opening. You have a ticket to go there. And in fact, you're probably one of the preeminent art people, art historians for this exhibit. So your presence will be greatly expected, as it were. So, yeah.
Now, you were saying earlier that Marvin would recognize me or would not.
Marvin potentially would recognize you, but it's hard to tell if Marvin was probably in meetings with you. Marvin was never on a mission with you. And so, in terms of how close they would have gotten with you, it's hard to tell. But they probably are relatively familiar if you got close enough and somehow were able to. If you tipped your hand maybe a little bit too much, they might get wind of you. But you get the impression that they don't know you well enough. You could blend in relatively well in undercover. Essentially, they don't.
But they wouldn't know my cover name as me.
No, no.
Okay.
It's potential though because of Marvin's rank and stuff that some of the assets that they have pulled from RES are people's cover identities and things of that nature. Whether he can put faces to names and stuff like that, that's a whole other ballpark. But he potentially has all of your information.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. So right now we're going to take a brief break so everyone can grab a drink or go and use the restroom as needed. But we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so, and yeah. And we'll see what happens when we reach Vienna. So stick around. We'll be back very shortly. Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here. We're getting ready to do the second half of our Cold Shadows game. Just to catch you up, our team, our intrepid super spies, have been sent on a mission to collect Marvin Balam, a important asset within the RES spy framework. He is the mastermind at RES, and he appears to be wanting to defect and go over to rival agency Denizen. It is known that Scipio is a rival agent with Denizen, and he is going to try to collect Marvin before our agents can. So they are flying to Vienna, where a art gallery show is going to happen, and we will pick up with the action in Vienna. So you have all landed in Vienna. Oh, I should point out, in terms of spending wagers, we worked this out over the break. The player who has wagers left over to spend can spend them on either replenishing trust points, or they distribute them amongst people to help with the narrative. And so that can go back to the narrator, it can go back to themselves, or it can go back to other players. So you can get all these people sort of involved in the story process, which is kind of cool. And yes, I am joining you from sunny Vienna now. See, look, it's Vienna. It's Vienna. Okay. So you have landed in Vienna, and in separate cars, you have been taken to the I already forgot the name of the hotel that I sent you to, the Grand Monumental something hotel in Vienna, and you have checked in and you have your rooms. In your rooms, there is a package on the bed for each of you.
Ooh.
Esther, it's a small package, and you open up the bag and you see a ring box. And this, when you crack open the ring box, you see a lovely silver ring that has small, what looks like maybe topaz gemstones embedded around the edge. When you connect your fingers together like this, a little pin, a little needle essentially sticks out of the band, and you can see a little bit of poison sort of well up at the end of the needle there, and there's a piece of documentation that comes along with it that says exactly that there's a strong enough poison that could take down a rhino if necessary. It is not a deadly poison. That was a little bit too much for them to encounter, but it is something that will knock someone out potentially. So this is a rank 1 item. So if you decide to use it, you would get an extra die on your roll for whatever you're trying to do with it. Vanessa, you also have a package. It's a plain brown package. It looks like it's wrapped in old paper bags, essentially. And inside is it's about the size of a portable battery, essentially. And on it is a screen and a what looks like a keypad, but with no numbers. And the documentation there says just place this next to any electronic security around a door or something similar, and it will decode any the passcodes to open those doors. And it will basically give you a readout of what the code is in the order that it needs to be read in.
I love it.
Jerry, you get notification on your cell phone, and it just says app has been installed, and you see a pitch black icon on your screen that has no name or anything on it. You know what it does. It's a small. It's not like a citywide hack or anything like that. It's probably within maybe a mile of where you are, which is going to be a lot. But
I mean, it's Vienna, isn't that like
yeah,
the city?
Yeah, this might be about the size of the city actually. But yeah, if without any, it's still constrained by normal cell phone ranges and stuff like that. So if you're deep in a dark dungeon or something like that, you might not get the service that you need. But and Damien, you also have a package, and in it is a nice glasses case, and inside the glasses case is a pair of regular glasses. Did you want sunglasses or regular glasses?
Regular glasses.
Regular glasses. So they're just regular glasses. They look exactly like what you wear normally for your cover, and you put them on, and if you tap the side of it, yeah, nice. If you tap the side of it, you essentially you're seeing through the wall of your hotel room, and you can see people on the other side of the wall just moving about. You see, if you look behind you into the other room, you see that the maids are cleaning out that room, and service staff is coming down.
Just to clarify, it's not X-ray. I can't see through the wall.
No, but you can see the heat.
Around.
You get the heat,
Yeah.
the heat vision essentially. Okay. So yeah, you got all of that stuff, and you all have your weapons as well. So you have everything that you need.
Do we already know when this art show is supposed to be going on?
It's tonight.
Tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
Was I able to secure tickets for everybody or just myself?
Yes. You are able to procure tickets for everybody. Everyone will need to kind of determine why their persona is going to an art opening here, but it's going to be relatively well attended, but a lot of the well-to-do of Vienna are going to be there. This is a black tie event, so it's not necessarily that, they're looking for a Reiki practitioner there, but they could be. So there could be great reasons for you all to be there, but you all have invitations to be there and are on the list. You probably have maybe 3 hours or so before the event if you want to do any preliminary stuff.
Well, I would advise everybody to get something to wear.
I will say that in your closet, you already have some evening wear, some fancy evening wear.
Which of us has the best perception? Would we know that? Or can I ask that out of character?
Yeah.
I have a 3.
I think so.
I have 4.
Because it's my weakness, so I just want to.
Oh, great.
I just want to make sure. I'm a point and shoot kind of guy. You point, I shoot. That's it.
Can't see it.
Again, you point,
Mr.
I
McGoo
shoot.
with a shotgun.
I have a 3.
I just figure the person with the highest perception should probably go in first. Just
well, one thing
scope
that
out the area.
So, do we know what Scipio looks like? I'm sorry if we had discussed this before or not.
You have been. Let's see. I don't want to go back on what I might have said before. You have been on missions that Scipio has been a antagonist on, and so
right.
I don't think you've ever seen Scipio directly. You have dealt with Scipio, but you have not Yeah, you don't know exactly what they look like.
So yeah, so I couldn't like hack into the city's like camera systems to see if there's anybody matching his description or running a
No, I
program.
mean you
That.
can do that, but you don't have any information to go on in terms of looks. So that you wouldn't have much to go on in that regard. Yeah.
We know what Balam looks like, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know what Balam looks like. Yeah.
But I mean, we know where he's gonna be, right?
Yeah, you know
I don't
Balam's
know
going to
if
be at the
it's
art opening. And Scipio will probably be at the art opening, but that's a little hard to tell. However, you could use your comment to potentially pick up some information on Denizen and see if Scipio's been deployed out here.
I
right,
definitely think we should do that.
or
Yeah.
if there's because so
Marvin, yeah.
Marvin, he has all of one of the things that he's also using is our assets, right? So, is there any way that we can see if any of Rez's assets are being pinged in Vienna
Yeah. So, do you want to? This sounds like a risk.
outside of our op?
Yeah. Yeah. So this sounds like a risk.
Okay.
So what virtue are you using here? I believe this would probably be intellect.
Yeah. So I would do intellect, which is a 3.
Okay. And then
Friends. So remind me what Friends in the Dark is.
3 extra dice when you're using humor to resolve your risk.
Humor. Okay, so I'm not really doing that, but I guess teamwork would.
That's if you're helping teammates.
But we all want the information. I feel like that's teamwork.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I would go with that.
Okay.
You also, I would imagine your code name might fit into this somehow.
Loose lips.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I believe you can add a die for your code name.
Okay.
Right. And then, yeah, you gain 1 die for your code name, and then, and you're using teamwork, so you get 3 dice for that, and your virtue is
3.
Intellect is 3, so that's 7.
7. But remind me what the wager is.
So with wagers, so the goal is the target number is always 10. So you can wager any number of your dice, and as long as you get 10 or higher, you get those wagers, and you can use those wagers to tell more of the story or to bring back trust points, essentially. I don't know. I don't think we can add trust points. I think you can only reintroduce them back. I might be wrong on that, but
right, we haven't used any yet.
Yeah, but you haven't used any yet. So, well, you did, but we gave them back. So that was
okay.
That was all. So yeah, you have 9 trust points essentially that you can use at present. If you want to add more dice to it.
I mean, I have 7. I don't know.
You have 7. You probably don't need to add any, but you could probably wager some of those.
So I was thinking of wagering 2 of them. And that, okay. So I'll wager 2.
Does anyone want to help? Do you want to cooperate on this risk?
I'll help. Why not?
Okay. So same deal. Where are you getting your dice from, and then how many dice do you have?
Well, then I would also be getting it from. We're getting from intellect.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have a 4 in that, so I have 4 dice right away.
Okay.
And then would it also be teamwork? Because I feel like if we're doing it together, do we both get the 3 die advantage?
I don't see why not, to be honest.
Well, then I also have 7 dice.
Okay. Great. And then anything about your name or code name that might factor into this?
Probably not in this instance. That's more of my charisma based thing for my code name. But I still have 7. I still don't know what role rank 2 means. because I do have insight as my one of my advantages.
That so
Um,
you get two. If you want to use that advantage, you can. I believe you get two dice to use it. Uh,
oh,
um, it's a yeah. It's a yeah. Um, that's from what I understand. That's what you get.
so I get two more dice. Well, then I have 9 dice, and I believe. And then how does working together work? We're gonna pool our total.
Oh no, sorry. So your roll rank, your insight, right, is your advantage, and your roll rank is 2. So if your roll factors into this as a PR, your PR roll would be a rank
Oh,
2 rather than a rank 1. So you only get
it
to
just
use
doesn't
this
really
if
at all.
yeah if you're
It
using
does.
that. Yeah.
No. Okay, so I don't get those two.
No.
So I still have 7. So, but does my total roll add to the other roll?
No. So it's basically two separate rolls. Um, you will announce that the player who rolls 10 or higher gains privilege. So if one of you doesn't, whoever rolls, um, every player who rolls 10 or higher gets to say one true thing about the outcome of the risk. The player who rolled highest keeps all of their wagers. Players who do not roll highest only keep half their wagers, rounded up. The player who rolled highest gets the first opportunity to say what happened at the end of the risk. They then choose which player goes next. Each player who rolled 10 or higher can add a detail to the outcome, adding additional details with each wager.
Okay, then out of my 7, I'm gonna roll 4 and keep 3 wagers.
Okay,
Oh,
Ben, what?
so it's a good thing. uh, Using this app, I got 11 for with the 5
Wait,
die.
what were you? You rolling all 7?
I was rolling 5.
You were rolling 5,
I
so
rolled 5.
you were keeping 2 as a wagers.
Yes,
Okay,
but I got 11.
okay, and then what did you get, Elisa?
I will tell you once I roll. Hold on. I have 9, 12, 13.
Okay. So Elisa wins. So you keep all of your wagers, and Ben, you get half of the wagers. So you get one
I
wager.
get 1.
Yeah.
So we have 4 wagers between us.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Cool.
And so you now, Elisa, you rolled highest, so you get the first opportunity to say what happens here, and then you can choose who goes after you.
Okay. Our communications intellect team comes back that and tells us that there have been 2 agents of RES, not agents, sorry,
Assets.
of informants that have been contacted in Vienna, coincidentally, or maybe not. And they tell it. Can I say they tell us their names and what?
I'll say for a wager, you can say the names.
Yes, I will use one of my 3 wagers
Okay.
for the names, but I will give it to you to tell me the names.
To
I'm
me.
terrible at.
Okay. One of them is Rebecca Smith, and the other one is uh, Peter Halloway.
Okay. And Ben, I'm sorry, Jerry gets to say the other thing that happens too.
Okay. So Jerry, you're next. So this is essentially we're now on wager time here. So you took a wager to name. So name the thing. So we have 2 more wagers. So Jerry, you're next, and then one more person after that.
Um, they're able to pull the latest communication from these informants. So we're able to see that, like, I'm assuming they're talking to Marvin But I want to give it to the storyteller to tell us what you're talking about, narrator.
Okay. So, so these informants are talking to Marvin.
Hmm.
Um, so what you are able to glean from this is that Rebecca is she is also a hitter, and her duty is to protect Marvin. And as she is also an RE, she knows RES, so she is hopefully going to be a spotter for him and help him uh, figure out who's who. And Peter, you don't know a whole lot about, but what he seems to be working on is also doing a. He's kind of handling. He's the guy in the van essentially, and he is handling sort of logistics. And it seems like he might be like a handler of some sort, and is doing some dealings with Denizen and working out the deal to get Marvin over to Denizen's hands. And
We know what they look like.
you do know what Rebecca and Peter look like, yes.
Rebecca doesn't have red hair, right?
She does not.
Okay.
Cool.
Uh,
I don't know if I'm supposed to know this.
how many wagers do we have left?
You don't have
Yeah,
any more
one.
left.
We don't have any more.
No, because you sent it back to me to tell what they said, right?
So I had two. That was my second one. Then.
Oh, that was. I thought we had 3 total. Right? Was I wrong?
I had myself.
She had 3. I had 2.
Oh, 3, and you had 2. Oh
You
no,
had
you had
one,
1.
Ben.
You had 1, Ben, because
I had
you
one.
It's
because
cut
you
in
didn't
half.
Oh, 'cause you
win,
went to
so
half.
you
No,
got
you're
half.
right.
So there's
So
4.
that means they at least still has 1 then.
Elisa still
I
has
still
1.
had 1.
Okay.
And with that one, ooh, do I want to make something up here? I don't know.
Yeah. It could be anything.
So we know what Rebecca looks like. Do we know what Peter looks like too?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say that we know what Peter's van what van he's using as his cover.
Okay.
Look out for.
I'm glad that you read my mind. That's exactly what I said.
Okay. Yeah, you know what Peter's van looks like. It looks like a 1986 Dodge Caravan.
Nice.
In Vienna?
In Vienna.
That
Sore
is
thumb.
yeah, that is definitely a sore thumb.
Yeah.
'Cause they have little cars.
I
and
know.
stuff.
He's an informant, not an asset, or not an agent. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
not the brightest guy.
Yeah.
They still would have had to like ship it over there.
It's not it. You know, here's the thing: it's old and it's like a painter's van essentially. So it's white and it has no windows, but smaller than an Econo van, but bigger than like
Does it say "Flowers" by Irene on it?
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
So, in a city full of smart cars, it will probably stick out.
It probably will. Yeah. Okay. So you got that information. So yeah, you know now that Marvin probably has someone with him that will be trying to protect him and take him where he needs to go. You know how to find, or you know what to look for anyway to find Peter. Rebecca will probably be with Marvin tonight at the event.
Not his date.
Well, no, probably not. She's going to not. She won't be like right next to him because the thing is to try and not be conspicuous. So she's going to be around, but she will not be. She'll be shadowing him basically.
Right. Okay. Well, I think that what we should do is make a plan on entering the museum.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe since I'm supposed to be there as a guest or whatever, as a noted art dealer. I should definitely position myself inside. And I don't know about how where everybody else wants to be. But it seems to me that Damien should be taking out the guy in the van.
Or I mean, the guy in the van, like, there's going to be an assassin with Marvin as well, and I can tell you, my W lies very much in athletics.
You
You
could
have a
you
two
could
in
cross
violence.
hack the van and just send in a separate feed, so you basically take Peter out of the equation.
Oh, I'm going to watchdogs it.
Yeah.
Excellent reference. What I was thinking is that I'd like to be inside. And with this app, I don't know if we're going to need to roll for this, but I imagine with this app, I can program keywords to ping for me off of people's text messages,
Okay.
such as like if someone was to use the word Scipio or denizen. I don't know if they would.
Yeah. No,
They're
you.
good spies.
Yeah, you do not. You do not. Denizen will never come up. You will never see denizen unless you're actively. No, even then, you will never see the word denizen show up anywhere.
Okay.
You know this much, as just as much as res will never show up in anything.
Right.
Can you use your hacking phone thing to send a text message to Peter in the van that the location has changed?
I would like to do that. Yes.
Okay. This will be a contested risk then, and I will roll for Peter. Let's see here. Peter's going to have 7 dice in this. Let's see. That's 4, 6, 7. And he is going to use 2. He's going to wager 2. Oh, it's a hidden wager. I'm not supposed to tell you how much I wager. He's got 7 dice. You heard nothing.
Little birdie told me he's wagering all of them.
Yeah. Yes.
Definitely gonna fail. Don't worry.
So, you do the same thing. Don't tell me the wagers, but tell me your dice pool.
I mean, the dice pool would be. I'm assuming intellect.
Yes.
Because that. But.
It's actually athletics.
For the hacking.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
What
were you saying, Elisa?
But do I get any bonus for the app?
Yes.
Item?
Yes. It's a rank 1, essentially rank 1 equipment, so you get 1 bonus die for
1.
that.
So that's 4. Yeah, because I don't think any of the other aspects would really work for this.
Your loose lips is probably
Yeah.
Code name.
I'm willing to go for it if the narrator's down for it. Sure.
I want to help you here, and you can spend a trust point to get 4 dice.
Oh, really? Then
Yep.
I'm going to use a trust point to get 4 dice.
Okay.
So that brings me up to 4, 7,
9.
8. Yeah, 9.
Okay.
But if I just pass it, that's just it works. Or do I have to wager anything in order for it to?
It's just whoever has the highest of the 2 rolls.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Then I'm not going to wager anything then.
You don't tell me that. Yes. So in a contested risk, for those playing at home, a contested risk, don't do what Ben and I did and announce your wagers. They're hidden wagers. So all I know is that Ben has, 9 dice, did you say? So Ben has 9 dice, and Ben knows that I have 7 dice. And so I can try and guess how many he might be wagering. I have a feeling he's not going to wager any of them so that he gets the highest roll here. But let's see what happens. He could roll very poorly. Okay. What did you get?
I got 28.
Okay. Tell me what happens. I got 17.
Okay. So yeah, I use my Black Hacker app. Get into Peter's phone, send a text as Marvin, telling him that the location has changed. Pickup location. Wait, no, it would be a Scipio. Who'd be communicating with him?
Seems like
It's-
Marvin's the one who knows our assets, so I would assume it'd be Marvin.
okay.
helping get Marvin over to Denizen. And
Right. Well, I guess Marvin is trying to get over to Denizen. So, okay. So I'm sending it as Marvin, telling him that pickup location has changed to be less conspicuous, to meet at Piazza, because I don't know anything about Vienna. So Mozart's home.
Yeah.
He's from, right?
Yep.
Some location other than the art museum.
So Marvin is telling Marvin under the guise of you is telling Scipio that it's going to be a different location for the pickup. Is that what you said?
Telling Peter.
Telling Peter that it's going to be a
Right.
different location.
So that he's not. So Peter will be out of the equation.
Got it. Okay.
Basically, nobody's outside monitoring the museum.
Okay. So yeah.
Hopefully Marvin is going to be off guard.
Yeah. Cool. So you send this text message to Peter, and Peter responds with the number 1, which indicates that this is accepted and he will follow through.
Okay.
So it's
I hold back sending in heart emoji. I'm not going to. But
I
Jerry
mean,
wants to.
that sounds like a risk to me.
I'm not going to.
Okay, so yeah, Peter seems to be taken out. Anything else you guys want to do before? You probably have a couple more hours, hour and a half maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically just do a quick sweep around the museum, just to kind of get my bearings and figure out, exits and all that kind of stuff. Whatever's necessary.
Okay. Give me a risk roll. I think this sounds like perception to me.
Can I join in on that too?
Yeah,
Sure.
please do.
Yeah.
Because again, my weakness is perception.
Yeah. So this is going to be a cooperative risk. So put your dice pools together based off of the things that we've been working on. So virtues, which this is going to be perception on both of your parts. If your names or code names factor into this at all, those would give you additional dice. And then pick the aspect that you're going to use, which I imagine would be teamwork in this case.
My code word does lend itself to it. I picked Greyhawk because Greyhawks live much lower to the ground than most other birds and basically intermingle with their society, but they hover when they fly, so they can just scope out everything below them very quietly.
So using your code name
a lot
gives
of
you
research into my code word.
Yeah, that gives you 2 die. Wait, nope. Code name is 1 die.
Name
Code
is
name
1. Code name is 2.
Other way around. Name is 2. Code name is 1.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So code name. So that gives you 1 more die, and then your aspect could be teamwork. You could use potentially honeypot again too if you want to try to also sweet talk someone, one of the guards or something like that.
Well, you said that the show isn't starting for a couple of hours, right?
Yeah, you got about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I mean, would there be anyone there that I could
There definitely
be set up?
There are definitely guards. There's definitely people. The museum is busy right now because they're getting the planners and stuff are putting seats out, and they're getting all of the catering is coming in and stuff of that nature. So there's a lot going on, and with them getting ready for the event tonight. With only 2 hours left, that's just, that's tight for them. For you, you've got a lot of time. But yeah, there's a lot of people flitting around the museum at this time.
I'm gonna try to basically seduce one of the caterers
Okay.
and just ask them, you know, we have a display we're going to be setting up for this open house we're doing. We're trying to get some artwork in there, and we're gonna end up having a lot of trash. I'm just gonna ask them where the trash cans would be, and obviously caterers don't take out trash from the front door. Just see, how they get access to the trash.
Okay, so you are going to use honeypot, and Eliza, what would you like to use for your aspect?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Okay, perfect. Okay, so how many die do you all have?
I only have my code name and honeypot, so I have 4.
And perception. Oh, is that your weakness? That's
It's
your
my
weakness.
I don't
Okay.
get a bonus.
Okay. Okay, so you have 4, and then Eliza, you have at least 4.
7.
You have 7, yeah. Okay. Are you wagering any? Are either of you wagering?
I am not.
You have 4. I'll wager 2.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll.
17. Wow. Only 4 dice.
I got all 5s.
Wow. So 25?
Yep.
Okay, so Eliza, you both rolled 10 or higher, but you rolled highest. So you keep all of your wagers. You didn't wager anything, JB, so that's not a problem. You get first opportunity then, Eliza, to say what happened at the end of this risk. Then you get
Okay,
to choose who goes next.
Okay. So, in our checking out of the art museum and where the event's going to happen, we found. Can he go first? I'll go after because he already has an idea for this.
Yeah. Yes, you can send it. Yeah, you can go on hold essentially, and then send it over to JB.
JB, you go for it.
So I'm gonna defer to the plan that I originally came up with.
Okay.
Just like I said, trying to sweet talk. Not trying to do anything suspicious. Just like, look, we got a lot of trash coming in. They're gonna be here in like 30 minutes. I just need to know quick in and out. If you could just direct me directly to the dumpsters, and I'm sorry. It's really hard to describe. You remind me of my mother. Oddly enough, you have such kind eyes. Sorry, no, don't ignore it. Don't worry about it. So if you could just direct me to the. It's really uncanny. The dumpsters, though. If you could just point me in that direction.
Yes, I can. They are located over here. But
With the gruffest voice
Yep.
possible. Yeah, trash cans. You remind me of my mother. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So this guy, actually, if that's okay with you, this guy.
I'm fine with it. Let's do this.
Yeah, he tells you, he shows you kind of, oh yeah. Oh, no, I get it. Yeah, we come through this. There's a door. There's these double doors back here. This is what we come through, and he walks you basically through the route that they will take for the caterers to empty the trash. And it's.
I didn't use it as an extra die, but I am going to be using my glasses the entire time just to see if anything's out of place.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Eliza.
Okay, I have it. I know what I'm gonna add. We also figured out that there are some pretty glaring blind spots with the security cameras. And we figured out where those blind spots are in relation to if we were to extract someone from this building, how we could do so without getting picked up by cameras.
Great. Awesome. Okay. You can send it to someone else now. How many more wagers do you have? You took 2, right?
Yeah.
So one was to one was to JB, and then so I think you have
I
one
got
more.
I got one just for succeeding.
Uh,
I got,
yes, yeah, you
so
yeah
she
you.
would still have two.
Oh yeah, still have two. Okay, yep.
So there's two additional.
Yes, yes. You can spend a wager back and replenish your trust points, or you can add another element to this narrative,
Elisa,
Or defer to somebody else.
or defer to
wanna
someone
add?
else.
I have an idea of what I want my character to be doing. I have suggestions that maybe for the outside, like we know where all of the doors are, or where we are parked, or something, so we know a clear pathway. If you guys are doing like,
I was thinking about a getaway car or some type of yeah. Do you want to? Yeah, you want to take that wager and make it so?
well,
Yeah.
I'm not there, but I would suggest that.
You can still be narrative. You can
Okay,
still
cool.
yeah
Oh, awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. In your investigations of all the passageways and the doorways around the museum and the exterior doors, you find the perfect place, out of that camera range, like you just said, to park our getaway vehicle in the exact right place for the extraction.
Awesome.
And it is ready to go.
Cool.
Awesome.
With
And
a permit to park there.
Okay.
perfect. We have one more. Ben, do you want it? Do you want to add something?
The terror on Ben's face when he deferred to him. No.
With that last one, then I want to add that our getaway car is
Is it a Dodge Caravan?
it's gonna be more conspicuous. So
Honestly, it could be conspicuous as a Dodge Caravan, because that way Marvin wouldn't know that
If Marvin gets in
Peter
our car,
was drawn away.
Oh, good call.
wait, what was that? If Marvin gets a what?
Marvin wouldn't know that Peter was taken away if it was a Dodge Caravan.
mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
You could match the same car.
Oh,
And
that's a good call. Yes, we're gonna do that. So we get another.
we've
Another,
somehow
another
find
1986 Dodge Caravan,
So
which is
in
readily
Vienna.
available
Yeah.
in Vienna, Austria.
so
Same page job.
Enterprise Rentals is like, wow, this is very interesting. We weren't expecting another person asking for a 1986 Dodge Caravan, but that's fine. Here you go. That's a Vienna accent. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dracula.
Yeah,
at
right?
Enterprise Rentals.
I'm pretty sure Austria is right next to Transylvania. So, great. It matches Peter's car. Okay. Very cool.
I know what I want my character to do.
Okay.
I have a very good idea. Risky.
Great. I love it.
think. Okay, Vanessa enters the museum early because she has a brand new artist that she wants to make sure that the art is hung correctly. And so she shows her credentials and enters early. And
So you'd be Shoshana at this point, right?
so I'm Shoshana Wolf,
Mm-hmm.
entering the gallery, and because I know that Rebecca Smith is going to be there and will be on the list,
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to the head of security because she has in America gone to many art galleries and museums showings, and she's actually an art thief, or at least that's what I'm going to tell security. And I want her detained and questioned upon arrival, and I gave a full description of her.
Okay.
Can I assist on this using the hacker app to fiddle with information?
So build your roles. Ben, I will believe that would be an intellect one for you, and
For me, I think it's charisma.
I would say charisma too. Yeah, you're trying to
So
convince
that's-
someone of something.
So Ben,
I
you're
am
gonna be like
using my
forging.
cover.
You can make forging news articles or something about her. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so you can use your cover.
Hmm.
Well, yeah.
I mean, this is kind of press relations too, right? Because I'm gonna be fiddling with some like a release
If
or
you were
some kind
doing
of
it as
news.
Jerry Goldstein, are you submitting these things as Jerry Goldstein? Are you using RES basically uh, ins and everything
Yes,
to you
yeah,
are?
because one of my abilities is to alter and edit, so
Okay.
I can change news feeds.
You can alter and edit anything that's said by an agent. So you can make Eliza's
Make her lie
thing.
true.
Yeah, you can make it true.
Yeah, well, true.
Okay.
Perceptively true.
Yes.
Okay. So Elisa, you are using your cover as an art dealer, so this will definitely factor into that.
Yeah, that gives me 2 in addition to my 4. And then also, because I have Debonair, any charisma based roll, I get 3 additional
Nice.
dice. And then I would say that we are working together on this, so it's teamwork.
Yeah.
So
See,
that's another 3.
seems like it. Yeah.
So three,
So that's
six.
6, 8, 10. I have 12 dice. I have 12 dice.
Do you want to
I have
wager any
7.
of those?
I'm going to wager. Ooh, I want to make sure that I succeed. I'm going to wager 2, 4. I'm going to wager half, 6 of them.
This is going to be a big roll.
Yeah. I am. Do you have honeypot? Do either of you
I
have?
do.
You do have honeypot. Okay.
Head of security interested.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to compel the honeypot aspect, and uh, let me see here. Pulling it up.
You always lure charmers by charms.
Yeah.
And at the
What?
same time, you're always lured by charms as well.
Oh.
Um,
So if
so
he's flirty back.
Yeah, so basically this the security chief is flirting with you, and you're falling for it as well. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to see if that gives you a negative at all. I think it just adds to the story.
Right.
But I'm not finding if it gives you a
Yeah,
a problem.
it looks like it just helps make a compelling story.
Um,
I will succumb to likewise advances.
yes.
So if he really flirts back, you could just derail your entire mission.
Yeah. Okay, let's yeah. Oh, I see. It would be a compel if I was rolling against you or anything like that. I'm not going to do that though. I'm just going to let you roll. Yeah, so you have 12 and you're spending how many for wagers?
6.
6. Okay. So 6 dice on this roll. Ben, you have 4?
I have 7.
You have 7. And are you wagering any of these?
No.
Okay.
I think 6 is enough wagers.
Probably.
Okay. Make your rolls.
Okay. Using this app, I have 32.
Oh my god, that's a lot. 9, 15. I have 20.
Wow.
Only
Okay.
3 wagers.
Yeah. And yeah. So you get three of your wagers. Ben, though, you get to go first in determining what happens here.
Well, I mean, I successfully am able to copy and paste her picture onto news, a fake news site.
International art thief Rebecca Smith.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I definitely use sensational words.
Right.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Elisa.
The security guard looks at all of the materials that I present and obviously knows who I am because I'm in such high standing and tells me that Absolutely. He will be on the lookout for her, and she will be detained upon arrival.
Nice.
Many of those wagers as you want for that.
If you have a wager, I'd like to just add something.
I think I do. I have a lot of wagers.
You should
Yeah.
have 3, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't mind passing one.
Yes.
She should be detained upon arrival, but not until she separates from the person she's arriving with, because it's going to make it really suspicious to Marvin if his bodyguard is immediately detained.
That is good call. We
Okay.
don't want to cause an international incident, and we do not want to have any negative impact to this wonderful art opening at the museum, because there are a lot of high profile people there. So it should be on the sly.
Cool. Okay. So you have 2 more wagers.
Oh. What else can we have the security guard do? Oh, can the security guard show me so I can properly identify her? Let me know once she's been detained where their holding cell is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else have an idea? I have one left.
I got nothing.
That holding cell location is really for you, Damien. And wink, wink. And okay, let's say because she knows that I'm probably the person who informed security about this, to make sure that I'm protected at all times.
Okay. Cool. So I will say that you have guards rank 1 with you.
Great.
The guards will attempt to, as long as you are in the building, the guards will essentially be with you and will you can direct them to do things. They will also take hits for you if it comes to that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, great. That's awesome. Man, this is like really like Mission Impossible stuff. You are all planning like deep into the thing where we don't find out if it works until the very end, which it basically is now. So I am going to fast forward essentially to the art opening, and let's see if everything sort of plays out the way that you hope it will. So this is a giant gala. It seems it's a who's who of Vienna elite, and everyone is showing up in their black ties and fancy dresses, and it's almost a shimmering gold landscape of people who are here and arriving. The artwork is modern. Some may call it childish. You're not huge fans maybe of this art, but it has some international appeal, and it is the artist is present and accounted for. They are giving their talks, and Elisa, you in your duty as Shoshana, you are sort of handling them and dealing with them and sort of discussing what will happen when they come back to the States and dealing with them that way. The rest of you are entering. Damien, are you coming in the back door?
Yes, I'm going to come in from the back.
Okay. And Esther?
But I'm entering as Alan Moss, real estate agent, not as
Great.
Damien Sharp.
Okay. Esther, what are your plans for?
I'm entering through the front door
Mm-hmm.
as Shauna, and I realize Shoshana, Shauna, Elisa, Eliza. We just but yeah, so I'm just gonna enter through the front door.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna actively look for the redhead too.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for her.
Okay, great. Yeah, you do spot the redhead. It's actually relatively easy to spot her. She's in a gorgeous gown, essentially. It looks like it's almost peppered with with diamonds of some sort. It is sparkling and lengthy, and she is attached to a gentleman who looks familiar to you, and however, it doesn't look like Marvin.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Ben, Jerry.
Yeah. Jerry is in the building. I would imagine just kind of wandering, but also pretty aware of trying not to be seen by Marvin, just because they have had interactions before. Um, but I'm also, looking like the stereotypical millennial, just nose in the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely what looks like I'm just checking my social feeds, but absolutely pinging all the phones that are there just to see if there's any keywords or suspicious activity going on.
Right, right. And meanwhile, there's a bad guy just going like this in the background.
Yeah, so if there's a bad guy stroking a cat, like I take a photo of him and I'm cross-referencing.
The cat. Only cross-referencing the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, the things this cat has done.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's go back to Esther, Shauna Wills. You do see you see the redhead, and you see the person that she has her arm locked around is tall, very handsome, and has a scar kind of going down one side of his face, and he has a somewhat of a close cropped beard, and the scar goes down and it separates the beard right here. And other than that, it kind of rings a bell, but you're not 100% sure. This seems like someone you might have dealt with in the past, but it's definitely not Marvin. This is not the image that you saw that when director Bowman showed you. It was not this person.
I wonder if it's Scipio. Oh, I think it's Scipio. Oh man, if it's Scipio, I don't want to walk up to her and attract attention.
You can relay the information to your hitter.
Well, yeah. Are we all together?
You're all in the area, but you're not all together. In fact, while this is happening, Elisa, you hear over the radios, and the guards inform you that they have held a woman, your description, Rebecca Smith, and they have placed her in a holding area in the back of the art museum, where they don't have a holding cell necessarily, but they just have areas that they can keep people.
While this is happening?
Yeah, while Eliza is looking at the redhead with the stranger, behind her, coming in after they have come in, Rebecca Smith has been detained.
Okay. Have you told us that you have eyes on the redhead?
Well, yeah, I do want to message everyone that I have eyes on the redhead, and she's not with Marvin Balam, and I suspect she's with Scipio.
Okay.
But I also want to make my way to Jerry.
Well, what I was going to say is, can you slyly take a photo of them on your phone and then send it to me?
We're on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that. So I take a picture and I send that message to them. Is this Scipio? can you check Jerry using
Yeah.
algae?
And
Okay.
while he's checking, I would say I want a message to her that Rebecca's in the back. Maybe you could put that ring to use.
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you go kill somebody?
Out?
Poison is poison. It's just knockout poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Enough to knock out a rhino. So she'll be asleep for a long time. It'll be fine.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, she sends you the picture, and we're just going to kind of narrate from here, so because we're a little short on time, but let's narrate this and just have a little spy story. So, you receive the image of the redhead and the stranger next to her, and you plug this into your system.
Yeah, and do facial recognition on the person she's with.
So you go through and you ping the RES servers essentially to and what you are able to find is that they're cross-referencing from previous missions that everyone has been on, and you are able to pull up recordings of street cameras and security cameras and things like that, and it's pulling up this image of this person, and through that you are able to surmise that this must be Scipio.
Okay. Excellent. I relay that information to Devin.
It's Alan
Damon.
currently.
Oh, Alan.
Alan.
Damien is
Sharp
his
and Alan
yeah.
Ross.
Devin. Delirium. Alan. Sorry, I never bothered to learn your name. That we have eyes on Scipio, who we believe is Scipio.
All right, and I'm assuming that Scipio would have the same knowledge about us as we have of him.
Probably.
He knows that we exist, but he wouldn't know what we look like, correct?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna go and try to cause a scene, just to kind of break up the silence, while trying to scan Scipio to see if there's a cold spot on his body that's gun shaped. So I can identify if he has any weapons on him. So I'm just gonna burst to the closest painting that is nearest him, and just be like, "Oh, the Meldon has to have this painting right in his foyer." No, excuse me, sir. You know the Meldon. What do you think? Does it fit? Does it fit the architecture? I have to get them over here. They have to know this exists. And then I just pat Scipio on the shoulder to try to grab his attention, but first I want to know if he has a gun on him.
Okay. Yeah, give me a perception. I will say let's I'm just going to do this. This isn't part of the rules, but I'm just going to say that your glasses give you one perception when you're trying to look for something like a heat signature of some kind.
So I'm gonna have. Well, I mean, I would get 1 point for using the glasses anyway, right? So
yes.
Yeah. One item.
Yeah.
And I'm making an act in front of a crowd, so I'm gonna use the center of attention aspect.
That sounds good. Yep.
And try to get a roll in.
How many dice is that?
4.
4. Okay.
I'm not wagering any.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15.
Great. Yeah. So that happens. And you look through your glasses, and not to take any of your narrative away, but you look through your glasses, and yes, you do see under his arm, in what is probably a shoulder holster, you see a weapon with a silencer on it.
All right, perfect. Well, I'm going to. Well, hold on. The redhead he's with, is that the one from the plane, or
yes.
Is that? Okay. So I'm gonna just put my hand on his shoulder. I'm gonna say, "Sir, I know, obviously by the lovely young lady that you're with, you have phenomenal taste. Please tell me. You know the Meldon in Dubai? The everyone's heard of it. I don't need to explain. This would be perfect, wouldn't it? And then while I'm doing it, I'm going to turn to him, basically face him as close as I can, chest to chest, and just put my hand on his weapon. inside of his jacket. So I'm just gonna,
Okay.
again, getting close is my thing.
Yeah, up close and personal.
Yep. I literally have a aspect called, if I can find it, up close and personal. It's literally called that.
Yeah, that's your advantage. So your advantage
Yeah.
is up close and personal. Yeah, cool.
So I'm just gonna put my hand on his pistol,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say, Denizen sent me. We need a rendezvous.
Okay.
That's where I'm gonna leave it at.
Okay. So those of you on the floor, you see this happening because he caused quite a stir. And then you see him getting extra close to who you believe now is Scipio. So Scipio leans into you and goes, I know who you are, Mr. Sharp, and Denizen did not send you. But if you'd like to join us, you're more than welcome. I believe the car is out back. And if you do a search of the security cameras, you will see that your Dodge Caravan is out back. And in front of that Dodge Caravan is Marvin Balam, who never made it into the art exhibit, and instead was seemingly Scipio had moved things around a little bit to sort of get one up on all of you. And Marvin gets in the car and proceeds to drive away. However, you do have Scipio, who is a high-ranking Denizen agent that you could potentially take out. And you have Rebecca Smith in holding, who has been, I assume, knocked out by the poison ring. And so you have some resources here. Marvin, however, has seemingly gotten away from you in this endeavor. However, if we were to continue this season, essentially, we would proceed to track him down, who he has not gotten in contact with Denizen yet. He has not been taken into their authority. So we would play this out, and your scene with Scipio, then we would probably Scipio would probably yell strike at this point, and we would get into a combat. But we have run out of time, I'm afraid.
We're leaving it on the cliffhanger.
And so we cannot. Yes, but that was excellent. That was wonderful. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I can tell that if I knew it better, there's a lot of moving parts, which when you think about spy stuff, that's sort of the aspect of it, right? There's a lot of moving parts. And the thing that's really interesting is having everyone have a point in the narration to basically dictate where things are going. And you can set that stuff up ahead of time and just be like, yeah, we worked this out and we have this working and we have this working. But because of the narrator, you never know entirely if everything worked out fine. And that's a fun aspect to play too. But it's all about telling a story.
Yeah, I loved it when we started like that, the back and forth of the information exchanges.
Yeah.
It felt very what is that, Ocean's 11 sort of.
Yeah. I mean, I was getting clear like cinematic vibes of okay, this is happening here, this is happening here, and you've all worked out those contingencies and stuff like that. That was really cool.
Cool.
I know that it was supposed to be narrative at the end, so I was trying to wrap it up as quickly as I could. But I understand that we basically modified the game, which is supposed to be a multi-session, seasonal game. But running it even just as a one shot, we tried to accomplish a lot, which made it a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
But it was really fun to just kind of instead of having to worry about this is what my score is and whatever, we're just really telling a story, which is
Yeah.
really fun at the end of it.
Yeah, it's cool in the narrative game world. It's nice to have the little bit of mechanics that basically just all they're doing is telling you who gets to tell the story at this time. It's not
you can't
about
really fail at anything.
Yeah, you're never really failing. And yeah, there's a lot of different ways to play this game that we didn't even approach and get into, but there's a ton of ways, the compel aspect, the invoke aspect, things of that nature, and all the different modes of play. So you can play this if you're a fan of Ian Fleming and James Bond. There's a way to play it. We kind of were playing in that milieu here, but there's also John le Carré, Robert Ludlum, those types of games too. You could play it as an archer. That would be really fun, just straight up. Yeah, there's an impossible mission, or Mission Impossible, I guess.
Danger
Impossible
Zone.
Mission for us. Danger Zone. Thank you. Thanks, Ben.
Dom.
What?
Danger Zone.
But yeah.
He wants you to say Danger Zone.
Anything else anyone wants to add before we go around and you can all tell?
I was just going to add that I found it really, amazing that without us knowing how to play, and none of us have ever played before, we did our character creation and went through essentially the first adventure in these 3 hours.
Yeah.
And character creation took a little chunk at the beginning, but we all knew how to play by the end of it without having to like pour into a book for a long time first, which I find very refreshing, very easy to pick up.
Yeah, and the book, if you all want, if you enter in the RPGES command in chat, you'll get a link to the drive-through RPG link for Cold Shadows. It's cheap, it's short, it's only a little over 100 pages, so it's a small book in most regards. So it's relatively, like I said, the first maybe 40 pages or so of the book is the core content, and then everything else is just we want to add on things or play in a different way. You can do one-on-one sessions. You can even play solitaire style if you want to do it solo. That's particularly good if you're the narrator and you want to establish some back missions and stuff that have happened. You can play it solo. So it's pretty cool for building a world and building a setting. And
yeah, I was gonna state, like, the book that I'm looking at, it's 130 pages including the cover art.
Yeah.
And I procrastinated a lot. We got this a week ago. I started reading it at about 12:30 today. And by when did we start? 6, 7?
6, yeah.
Like it was enough of a read that I could understand exactly what it was. So I think it's like 40 pages, I think, will get you started in the game. So
yeah.
It's a really quick pickup.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm just going to add that I really, really like the cooperative elements of this game. And I'm really intrigued by, we played it in a very cooperative, collaborative way, but I'm intrigued by the PvP stuff too. Like, that's really interesting that this game, you have the ability to shift between those two different styles of play and probably shift back and forth. I'm imagining over the course of a season, people will like double cross and then team back up.
I mean, we're also untrustworthy, so we could always carry that out. Maybe I am working for Dennison. We don't know. Like, we could always flip it around. And we'll figure that out tomorrow on saving throw.
Yeah.
No, I can imagine though that the wager aspects on PvP, if I have however many wagers and you have however many wagers, that we could be storytelling back and forth, like, but then I take my gun and pull it out and I'm able to take you, and you're like, but then I rustle you to the ground, and who knows.
Yeah.
So like there's so many great possibilities with that.
The rule set that says that if you get a wager you can always add a yes and or a yes but changes so many things. It's like, I pull out my gun, yes, but it's jammed.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, cool. Let's go around the horn again. Tell everybody who you are and where they can find you, and if you got anything cool coming up. Let's start with Elisa.
Oh, hello. I'm Elisa Teague. I have lots of cool things coming up. as mentioned a little earlier, it was just announced today that I'm one of the writers on the new Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition,
Yay.
which is coming from Hunters Entertainment. Soon to be at a game store near you. I don't know when, but we're writing it now. And also projected to come out next month, but I don't know for sure because of everything that's going on in the world. My brand new campaign setting for Wardlings, which is based on the WizKids
Yeah.
miniatures line. It's a 5e campaign setting, and that's coming out from Renegade, who partners up with Hunters all the time. And that's coming out next month, I think. And what else? Always look for new stuff from me with Dungeons and Dragons. And you can always play one of my many, many board games that I've designed. One of the really cool ones that you can play from home right now over Zoom is Geek Out, which is a social party game, and it's always a lot of fun. There's a brand new Disney version of that out from the
I have it on my shelf right now, and it's phenomenal.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. And you can find me on the internet. My website is elisateague.com. It's pretty easy. My Instagram and Twitter is at Geeky Pinup.
Cool. Thank you, Ben.
Ben's nobody. Moving on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
you know, there's stuff from Hunters coming out. You can find me on Nintendo Online playing Animal Crossing poorly, but obsessively.
Is there a way to play Animal Crossing poorly?
Yes, if you visit Ben's Island, you will find.
Okay.
Yeah, if you visit my island, I'm not very good at social structures, so it's basically a lot of fire and there's a crazy clown goat that's running around making threats to people right now, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Pietro.
Go to our Discord and under video games channel. Ben will post his.
Yeah, I'll post my SW.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Aliza.
All right. Hi, I'm Eliza Pearl. You can find me at Eliza Pearl on Twitter and Instagram. The next things I have coming up are a all Klingon RPG that we're going to do over at Q Times. It's kind of a companion game campaign to the Clear Skies campaign that's currently running with Star Trek Adventures. So we're an all Klingon crew, and just kind of just getting that set up, and probably going to see that premiere sometime this spring. And I think I have other stuff going on, but I'm not sure what it is, so I'll keep it at that.
So follow Aliza Pearl on all the socials, and you will know what's going on. Awesome. JB.
As already previously mentioned, I work at Hunters Entertainment, so all of the miscellaneous games that are coming out, we have a lot that haven't been announced yet. We're currently working on a lot of contracts for a lot of different IPs that we're going to be bringing on, so stay tuned to that. You can find me personally on all the socials at JB Jora, which I think is listed right here.
Yep.
And I'm also currently in pre-development for a little side information stream, I guess you could call it, called The RPG Factory, which is kind of behind the scenes of how RPGs are made, different tips and tricks of how to run games. And you can find me online everywhere at The RPG Factory. And just to harp on Ben, yes, including TikTok, which is actually one of my most active accounts right now. So I think there's actually some, I was looking at the chat, there's actually some people in the chat right now who came here from my TikTok. So you're welcome.
Oh, awesome. Welcome, TikTok viewers.
Yeah, so go check it out everywhere. Again, it's The RPG Factory, just because someone took RPG Factory without the V and then left it unused. So V across the board. So,
it's right next to the CNC Music Factory. There's just multiple factories. Okay, sorry. I have to, at least once a day, I have to get a CNC Music Factory joke in.
It's true. He does.
My name is Dom Zook, and you can find me on the socials at Saving Throw Show, which is our company-wide social, or you can find me, my personal account, at Gadzook on Twitter, or at Gadzook Films on Instagram, but I'm really not on Instagram all that much. And tomorrow I am coming back to you with my proficiency check series at 3 o'clock Pacific time, where I'll be chatting about this. I'll be chatting about the subathon. I'll be chatting about things that are coming up on the channel and answering your questions and all of that good stuff. So come on, join me for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, I will be back here in the player's seat playing Wild Cards, which is our East Texas University setting. It's Savage Worlds system. And we are in the final season and getting close to the final episode. So things are getting pretty scary. So I hope that you can join me for that. And in the meantime, just stick around, join our Discord, check out our wiki, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching, and we really appreciate all of your support. So on behalf of me, everyone at Saving Throw, and all of the players here, have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.